Hi, I'm Iris.
And I'm Anthony, and welcome to our garden. Today we're going to talk to you about getting ready for our new season of planting
And talk about some of the lessons we've learned. Lesson 1. Growth takes time. What I learned this season is that when you plant a seed, it doesn't just pop up like that. It takes time. There's a lot of things that are happening under the ground before you see it above the ground. And so in that way, I have to do my part in making sure that I keep it watered, make sure that I'm giving the proper nutrients, to make sure that I'm weeding well. And going out in the garden, that is one lesson I have learned: patience. It doesn't happen overnight. For example, the pineapples took us
2 years.
2.5 years, almost 3 years, to get these beautiful pineapples, and we didn't get but 2. So for next year, we'll get more. At least now we know, we've learned that some things, it may take 3 days. That's what you got to wait, 3 days. Some things may take 1 week. Some things may take 60 days, 90 days. For example, like garlic takes 9 months. That's a long time. It's like carrying a baby, and you have to make sure you're caring for it along the way.
Something I would add to that too is, so that you have the right expectations for how long something takes, keep a calendar and write on there if something is supposed to take 90 days. If it's at 45 days, it seems like it's forever, but it's not really the time yet. And so you can look back at your calendar or your notes and say, okay, well, I shouldn't expect that for a little bit longer. Then it's going the way it's supposed to. Because to be honest with you, when you start this, especially if you're just beginning, you think everything's supposed to come up next week. It doesn't work like that. And your expectations will sour quickly if you don't know when something's supposed to show up and you give it the amount of time it takes. Another thing too is, if you don't prep things right the way they're supposed to be done in the beginning, none of it will come up. So you have to give it everything it's supposed to get, and you got to be able to wait.
That goes to our second lesson, and that is the power of planning. So what is it the wise man says? That you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Mm-hmm. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Do I get it backwards?
Well, I can tell you, without a plan, you're guaranteed to get a failure. With a plan, at least you have a 50-50 shot at getting a success.
Because if you're limited in space, most of us are in our backyard, and you're limited in space. So you have to literally be very strategic. And I know for us, over the last few years, we've been using some of the beds for experiments. And now we're at a point right now where we need food to eat. And we need to keep it common consistently and filling our freezer up so we can make sure that we have plenty of produce. So this season, in this next season, the lesson we learn is that have a very detailed plan, be flexible, mm-hmm. and work that plan until that plan doesn't work.
And like she said, the amount of time we've been doing this and kind of playing with this and that, this season we have decided we're going to stop playing gardener and actually do this intentionally, with the intention that we expect the crop to grow if we plant something.
Because you're going to have outside forces coming in. We have squirrels. We have possums, raccoons,
and rabbits.
And rabbits and dogs and cats that just come in there.
Frogs.
And bugs.
And all kind of
and disease.
And weather.
Yeah.
And heat. And cold. So you have all these forces and air. You have all these forces working against you. So you have to make sure you have your plan, something to start with, so you know what to do to battle it. Because the struggle is real.
And look, you pay dues every day.
Yeah, that's true. Well, our third lesson is cultivation matters. Success doesn't just happen. Healthy soil doesn't just happen. A large crop doesn't just happen. You have to be very intentional. What we just said. You have to take care of your soil. If you don't feed your plants, your plants will starve. If you don't water your plants will dry up and shrivel. If you don't pull the weeds up from your plants, the weeds will take over. So you have to consistently cultivate and pruning. I'm telling you, when I'm out there, when we I don't know if you can see this, the pruning the back right here, the blackberries. That hurt. We cut half, almost down to nothing,
And it grew right
and
back.
it grew right back.
Oh, tell them about the
And
elderberry
healthy.
right there beside
So
you.
we cut. This is another one. We cut it all the way down. I thought it was dead, and look at it. It's actually prettier now. So cultivation matters. Pruning may hurt, but it's for your benefit. It's for the benefit here.
Well, what
So-
happens when we as people don't get haircuts? Isn't that the same
Oh, we
thing?
look like a wookanuka or something,
You
you
look
know.
mangy.
So you got to prune back things that are not producing, things that are getting in your way, things that are taking up space, and so you can't flourish. So we want the garden to flourish, because happy roots make happy fruit, and so we want everything to be happy.
Well, and just like other things, plants have dead growth on them. When a plant has been used up and used up and used up, those branches don't grow any more fruit. You have to nip that off so new stuff will come out so you can get more fruit. Otherwise, you'll have a plant, but it'll never get anything on it. You just had this big green plant with no fruit on it.
Well, that goes to lesson 4. Consistency matters more than perfection.
Yep.
Coming out here every day means more than getting it right getting it perfect every day.
Trust me, there's no such thing as perfect in a garden. Every day is something different.
This is one thing about gardening that I have learned, is to relinquish control, because you ain't controlling nothing out here. What you do is you do what you can do, and then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about perfection. It's about getting out here every day. And there's so many benefits from just coming out here every day, getting out here in the fresh air, the sunshine. And it has really helped me heal this year. Just coming out here, walking around, touching the plants. It's just something about just coming out here consistently. It's like I talk to the plants, and I've been telling them, you're going to live, you're going to produce, you're going to, do well. And those vibrations from my voice is sending out messages to, I'm thinking messages to the plant and telling it to live. I don't know if it works that way, but it seems like it.
Gardening will keep you from strangling strangers in traffic.
Or strangling your spouse. Or your children.
Nothing better than good old gardening. Keep those workplace rampages to a minimum.
Yes, yes. Gardening is good. Which leads us to our 5th lesson, which is don't skip steps. I always try to get ahead, and it's like you put in the cart before the horse, and then what happens when you put the cart before the horse?
Wonder why it goes nowhere.
That's right. So there have been some things that I did, like I plant carrots in the heat of the summer. You can't do that.
Completely out of season.
You can't plant things out of season. It doesn't produce. So then you get mad because I put all that effort in something and it didn't produce, or it produced and it didn't.
You didn't get the yield you thought you were
Or
going
it
to get.
tastes terrible because it's not in its due season.
Yep.
So you have to make sure every stage matters. Timing matters.
And by the way, most of this stuff, if you buy seeds or plants, they've got instructions on the package. Tell you when and how to prep it. And for the stuff you don't know how to do, YouTube has instructions.
Yep.
There's no excuse for I didn't know anymore.
And follow us, subscribe.
Yeah.
Because we'll show you how to do it. We'll at least help you along your journey.
And trust me, we've made all these mistakes. We're
Yes.
still making them.
Yes. That's why it's consistency over perfection. Which leads to our 6th lesson, my love. Pruning helps your growth. And I think we talked a little bit about that. You think it's not easy for it to come back, but it'll come back stronger. And so we talked about the pruning.
Ooh, I feel a biblical lesson on that one.
Share.
Well, like she said, if you don't prune, you don't grow. Most people have had a point in their life where they have become stagnant. That means that you've just been doing it and doing it, doing it, and nothing moves. You just stay in the same spot all the
Kind
time.
of like your roots growing in a circle.
Yep. Plants do that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that elderberry right now needs to be taken out of that pot because the root
This
is growing
in a
around. It's
circle.
called girdling. And just like that plant, people do the same thing. You will sit in that spot and just wind and wind and wind around. And in order for a plant to grow, you have got to take the dead stuff off it. Even in the Bible, it says if a tree doesn't produce fruit, you got to cut it down. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
That's what Jesus cursed the fig tree because it wasn't producing.
Mm-hmm.
It had lots of leaves but no figs.
Mm-hmm.
So he cursed it because it wasn't serving its purpose. So you want to make sure your plants are serving its purpose, and pruning helps along the way.
Yep.
Us too as well. And so that also that takes us to our 7th lesson. Storms make you stronger.
Is this going to be a whole biblical one?
Well, gardening is biblical. I mean, if you really think about it, we all started in the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
And so, and God called Adam and Eve to take care of the garden. And I feel like that is our calling, is to take care of the garden, because if you take care of it, it'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our calling, and storms happen.
It's part of life.
It's part of life. And do you know that all storms are bad? And even though we were storm chasers, and we were in the storm chasing business.
We had a roofing company by it, if you wonder what storm chaser means.
We rejoice whenever there's storm. But when the storms come, the wind blows. And if it doesn't knock it over, it just makes you stronger. What is it? What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yep.
What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Hang on, we can't do that because of copyright.
Sorry, you had to stop me there. But yeah, storms and the rain. When God waters it, it goes deep. When I water it, I hope it goes deep.
Yep.
But when God waters your garden, it goes deep. And you talking about after a nice storm and a nice rain, and everything has settled down, it's like everything is so much greener.
Mm-hmm.
And so much prettier. So storms aren't bad.
I'll add something to the storms too, and this goes back to prepping things the correct way when you expect to harvest from. We planted corn 2-3 times.
Yeah, boy, the storms coming, knocking down.
Every time we planted, first of all, you're not supposed to plant corn in this loose soil like this. Corn needs heavy soil, and you're supposed to heal up around it to make the roots grow deeper and deeper. Well, we got pretty corn that would come out, but as soon as it would get tall enough for ears to come on,
Just lay it out.
wind would come, knock it right to the ground. That happened to us, I think, 2 or 3 times. So we just figured out we can't do it
Not in
with
the beds.
the beds. We've got to plant it in the ground.
And not with this loose soil.
Right.
But you have to know those things. And that comes with trial and error.
That comes with also storms. Storms toughen you up. Had we never had a storm, we wouldn't have learned that.
Well, that takes us to our 8th lesson. And weeding protects what matters. You said it. You said, is everything biblical? Well, if you don't weed, the weed would it would strangle out your crop. And so it's so important to go in there and pull those weeds. And I don't know if you know what a weed is. You want to give them the definition of a weed?
Yeah, a definition of a weed is a plant that is in a place it's not supposed to be.
Right.
You can have roses and they're taking over a spot. They might be pretty, they might be roses, but they're still a weed because they're taking over somewhere they're not supposed to be.
Our basil is an excellent example.
Yes,
Basil is
I
a
was
great
just saying
example.
the basil just
This whole
it
bed
was just
gets
taking
full
over.
of this every year because we let it go to seed, and from now on, it's going to be there unless we take care to get it out.
it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yep.
And also we have our neighbors. we can't do anything. We can't do anything about what our neighbors back, what they have in their yard. But when it starts to encroach on your property and it starts to affect your crop, that's what frustrates me. And so you have to do battles because they don't.
What she's referring to, in case y'all are like, where'd they go from? That whole tree line right there above our fence actually is a weed. That's not trees. Those are weeds that they're not cut. The person doesn't cut the grass, and they grew to become trees. That's what happens when you don't you don't take care of nature, and you just let it do what it's gonna do. Nature will take everything back.
Yeah, it will.
If you just give it enough time. Where we plant houses and these neighborhoods are built, if nobody cuts this grass and nobody does anything to maintain these houses, in a matter of 10 years, you would never know any of this existed. Grass would grow through the concrete in the street. The houses would have trees growing through the middle of them. Nature will find a way to take itself back, and it will find a way to make itself grow. Now, it might be what you want to grow, might not be what you want to grow.
Well, if you didn't plant it there, then it's not what
it becomes a weed.
It becomes a weed,
right?
And it will strangle out all
everything else.
All your goodness, all of the good stuff that you put in.
Right.
So you have to keep your weeds under control.
And people cultivate weeds in their lives too. Bad spirits and not being able to accept what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism or constructive criticism. People grow weeds too, not just plants. And you can be stagnant and your roots are circling around and you can grow weeds sitting right there being still.
So you're saying that I could take the lawnmower and lawn people down and that would help keep their weeds down?
No, please don't do that.
No, but that is a thought though. I've heard the saying that it takes a village. And that goes with raising children. It goes with maintaining property.
Yeah.
It goes with just about everything in life. It's even mentors in life. Everybody has something that they can bless somebody else with. And so if you see a person going wrong in life,
you mow them down with the lawnmower.
No. But it is, as a Christian, it's your responsibility to correct people. You can do it in love. But you do need to correct people when they're going down a bad path. Because I'll be honest with you, if we didn't maintain this yard,
oh my,
and this is, y'all see how manicured this grass is? This is a weekly thing. And it's a daily thing just to keep the garden up. If we didn't do that, it would look like back there. And people are the same way. If you see something happening, speak up.
So it doesn't encroach on your property.
That's right.
On your line. Because if he gets weedy, it affects me.
I guarantee those weeds will grow.
And the under, you never know what's happening under the ground, because whatever you see on top, it is so much more underground. Kind of like that iceberg. You only see the tip, and it's this big, huge iceberg underneath it. To
let y'all know what she's talking about, that weed right there, it sends roots underground, and you see that weed is way over there. Those roots are way over here where I'm standing. And that's all underground. I'm sorry to interrupt you, my love.
Well, let's go to lesson number 9. Lesson number 9, feeding things keep them strong. It's just like if you don't eat, you become weak.
But if people don't eat, they die. And so do plants.
And that goes with if you don't drink water, you'll die faster from water deprivative.
Actually, 3 days of water, you'll die.
And you
3 months of food, and you'll die.
But you won't flourish.
No, you won't flourish if you
not eating.
Short on either one.
And your plants will tell you, and we are learning a language. Plants speak their own language. Our job, just like Adam and Eve's job, was to learn their language. And he knew their language because he talked to them, he spent time with them, and God talked to him. And he told them, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And we need to do the same thing. Spend time out here with it. Look at your leaves. If your leaves are starting to yellow, it could say, you need a little fertilizer here.
Or the droopy got spots on them.
You need some water, or You need to put some neem oil or some, insect soap on here to get your little critters off of it. Or, you need some more pollinators to invite more happy bugs or friendly bugs so that the friendly bugs will do your work for you.
Hmm.
And so, but you got to feed your garden. And I think I've learned that lesson, especially with our pineapples. And you have to give them specific foods because just anything is not a good thing.
But you don't give a baby pizza. It has to have what it's supposed to have. Certain fruits, certain vegetables need certain things, and if you don't give them the right stuff, they still don't flourish.
No, because their little tummies can't take that.
Mm-hmm.
Hamburgers and stuff. Yes. All right. So lesson 10, we need each other. I need you, darling.
And I need you.
And I need you too, son. And I need you too, my friends, my gardening friends. We need each other to help each other be strong. We learn lessons from each other. When I fall down and I can talk to you about it, and then you can come and talk to me and put it in the comments, and then we can learn things from each other. We need each other. It is important. It reminds me of the trees, the cedars of Lebanon. It's in the Bible. They talk about this, the trees of Lebanon, the cedars of Lebanon. It is a group of trees, and the roots have grown together, and it creates a community. And so you have these tall trees, and when the wind comes, it doesn't knock them down because they're standing locked roots, kind of like we stand locked arms, and the wind doesn't blow it down. And it creates an atmosphere so that the young trees can come up, and then you have all of the wildlife, and they have places to go. So that's how nature is. We need each other. We need each other to grow and to be strong.
And just like we're sharing what we've gone through, we learn from other gardeners and other channels what they've gone through. And to be honest with you all, in the times we're in, learning how to feed yourself is going to be more and more important as the days go on.
Yeah. Not only feeding yourself, but you're going to have to look for your medicines in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And God has given us everything we need. We just got to be able to tap into it. That's a lesson for me. I got to tap into it. Lesson 11. Every season has its purpose.
And time.
To everything there is a time and a season. A time to plant and a time to pluck up. That's your planet. Yes. A time to kill and a time to heal. There are times you gotta just knock that plant down. It ain't working.
But you remember we were trying to figure out what we were gonna plant for the fall, and I told you that okay, well we need to take everything out, and you were saying, well,
I can't say but
this plant's still doing such and such and such. I said, yeah, but that plant is out of season, and we're now carrying something past its useful season and wasting time
and
space when we should be prepping for the new season coming. Plants don't last all year. Everything that's out here has a time that it's going to do something good, and then there's a time it goes dormant, or it just completely dies. And if you're completely out of season, you have lost time that you should have been into the next season. Kind of like putting new wine in old skins, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't put new wine in something. You can't put something new in something old. It doesn't.
You don't get what you're supposed to get out of it.
So that's why we taking the time to replenish the dirt, put the compost out, remulching it, and reviving it so that it'll be ready for a new season. And lesson 12, diversity brings strength. And I think we talked about that because I talked about that with the trees and how you have those cedars. But when I think of diversity brings strength, it reminds me of companion gardening. And so you can have your tomatoes and you can have your basil, and the basil will help. It will work. They all work together. It's all like all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And so, you got your dill. It adds flavor to it. even with the basil and the pineapples, I know it looks crazy, but when we tasted our pineapples, they had a hint of basil in it.
Yep.
And it was very refreshing. So all things work together. Companion garden is good. You may have, well, I wouldn't put mint in my garden in with the beds because it'll take over. But mint is, I keep mint in the center because I like to go by and brush it, and it keeps the mosquitoes away. At least it's supposed to.
It makes the yard smell good.
It does make the yard smell.
Away.
And so does the oregano.
By the way, in the South, we have mosquitoes that are the size of airplanes.
They are not the size of airplanes. They're the size of birds.
I don't know what's worse. They even ate Greg the other day. Poor Greg, may God rest his soul. All right, but
I digress.
I do like to plant my herbs with my different crops because it does help with pesticides. So I like to put my flowers in there because you need pollinators, and plus it's pretty. Yeah.
Look, y'all should see how giddy we are watching out the windows. There's a hummingbird. Look, there's a butterfly.
Oh, speaking of diversity, we have had more wildlife. We have had cardinals, and I've seen all different types of cardinals. We've had doves and sparrows and
frogs,
and
raccoons,
and lizards.
Plenty of bugs.
His friend, the lizards, got
yeah.
what you call them? What we call them?
Ocus, the lizard.
The kids, when they were little, named the lizards Ocus. So every lizard is now Ocus.
Speaking of which, like, sorry to interrupt you, about letting nature take over. We have made nature in our backyard. By letting nature take over, we let our backyard look like nature, and because we have, we start seeing nature here.
Yeah, they come to us.
Right, they'll skip all of the neighbors' yards, and they'll come in. We see more birds that you never see anymore. Yeah. We even saw a lightning bug one night.
Yeah.
And I thought they were
a lightning.
Yeah, a lightning bug, because normally when they spray pesticide to get rid of mosquitoes, it kills them all. And we saw a lightning bug actually got in the house, and I felt so bad because I hadn't seen any. I actually got it on my hand and let it back outside because I didn't want to kill it.
I did a ladybug like that because I know the purpose of a ladybug is to help with the aphids.
Yeah.
So I took it and put it outside so it can go do its job, because it can't do its job in the house.
Right.
And so.
Just like the day with the lizard.
Yes.
And I let the lizard get on my hand and move them somewhere. When you're around nature, one, it just relaxes me. I can't speak for my wife, but it relaxes me.
Yes.
And there was a time when if I saw a lizard, I would have stomped on it. Now I'm like, oh, hey, buddy. And I just talked to him all day.
Yeah.
This is so relaxing to be in this.
Yeah, but I haven't seen no snake. Thank goodness. I haven't seen snakes. Now,
Well,
snakes.
We've had a few, though.
We've had them. I just
almost
disposed
touched
of them
one.
before you come out here.
Well, I'm glad you did that. But I almost picked up one. I was picking some beans, and there was a snake. It was an earth snake. It was not a bad snake, but to me, all snakes are bad snakes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
All snakes are bad snakes. So, okay. All right. So
let's ask questions later.
Okay, and our final lesson is harvest with gratitude. And I'm going to just say this. This has been our worst gardening year ever. I'm going to be honest with you. We didn't get half the things that we normally get out of our garden.
We planted late. It got hot.
It got hot, really, 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 really hot. And it was dry. It was either wet or it was really dry. So we had a lot of
diseases a lot this year too.
Yes.
In the garden with rust and
diseases.
Funguses and whatnot.
And then I was out sick, and I wasn't able to get out here and tend to it like I was supposed to. So we had a lot of, like we talked about, these lot of forces working against you. But when we got our eggplant, that was such a beautiful thing. When we got our tomatoes, or we got our peas and our okra.
Don't forget the pineapples came out this year.
2 pineapples. Yeah. Yay. And we got 32 pounds of sweet potatoes.
And we got more blackberries, I think, than we've ever gotten.
We just ate them all as they came in. Blackberries, we got peaches. So it might not have been what it was, but you know what? God is good. I can say that without a doubt. God is good. And I think we got more lessons this year than anything else, and that will help us make the next season
Mm-hmm.
even better. You got any closing remarks?
No, actually, I don't. For a change.
I do.
Go ahead.
Take care of the garden, my love.
And the garden will take care of you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us some comments. We'll answer those and tell us what you want to see videos on. We'll try and make those videos too. And by the way, thank you for 100 subscribers! Woo!
And have a great day.